Okay, so Rui, here's your instrument. Okay, Rui, I want to tell you a few things. So first of all, here is the open seam. The open seam, as I said, is on the treble side, and it runs from about here to about here. And that's the only open seam that I see, but there might be others. Now the pegs, I didn't play on any of the low strings because I've got 5 strings tuned at the moment, these 5 here, and that's all the ones I can make to stick. These strings are actually quite interesting. They must be an early 20th century gut string because the winding gets closed off and then the rest of the leader is actually gut, and that goes, and it's red gut in this case. So the bottom D string, it's red gut, and it's kind of a normal color gut in this case, and I've never seen that before. Quite interesting. So the thing that really kind of scares me is how the neck and the bridge are disposed one to another. So if I can actually have you stand up, please, Paul.
Oh, you don't want to get the angle?
Well, okay, I want to show you. So if you look along here, to my eye, the fingerboard is going off this way a little bit. And what's more, the whole thing is kind of tilted to the bass side, which is kind of crazy. I think you can probably see, if you look at the bridge, that the bass side of the bridge is the lower side. So that's actually kind of crazy. The instrument sounds amazingly well, considering that these elements of the setup are so unusual and out of the ordinary. So yeah, let's just show you a couple other features of this instrument. So it does have a rosette. I think the rosette looks to me like it's carved out of the top. I think it's probably spruce. It has this thing, and it's interesting to see how this thing is reinforced. He's put a spline in there, both in here and in here. He's put splines in there. So that's quite interesting. The veneer on the fingerboard is extremely thin.
We can see that on the side nicely.
Yeah. And what's curious is just, how even this is. You would really expect it to be a wedge, but it's
there
not
we go.
at all.
We can see the veneer very nicely now.
Very good. Okay, so a couple more, and I must say this is a feature which I was totally unprepared to see, but there's this second break down here towards the bottom button. The instrument is lovely and light, wouldn't you say, Paul?
Yeah, it's got a nice, full, rich sound.
Despite the fact that it's not set up in a conventional way at all. So it's comfortable to hold because it's not too heavy. There's a curious feature here I want to bring to your attention.
Oh, the thing in the back, yeah.
So the design of the peg box is not great, but to hold...
The focus is not great. Okay.
Is that better?
Well,
So
it's not... There we go.
He's added this curious clamp, really, to hold the sympathetics down onto the nut here. And this is really not great, but because it just makes them harder to tune. And this too is reinforced with a spline. Interesting. And it's barely holding the original, is actually cracked.
Tilt the instrument a little more on its back. So yeah, then we can see that feature. Yeah, that's good. Can really see that now.
Yeah, so let's see. So the pegs, I mentioned the pegs problem. You see what's going on here. Some of these are quite far through.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
don't fit well at all.
Yeah, we can see that.
I can't quite imagine what's going on here. Is there anything else I should tell you about now? This thing looks kind of scary, but it was actually, it seemed to me it was less apt to be damping the instrument than I expected, because it actually had, when there was no tension on it, this was actually fairly flexible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was interesting. So yeah, there's that and that and that, and I can't think of anything else. You got anything to add, Paul?
Not only that, when I just played it, it was really nice to play, actually. I mean, my first impression is very positive about this instrument, and that it has a really good sound and it's very comfortable. So,
In terms of finding somebody to fix it and to buy it, that's really a difficult question. I will write to Quentin, well, I will do it actually right now. I'll take some photos and I'll send him an email. My concern with Martin Rui is that you have a couple of instruments at Martin's already, and he doesn't know what to do with them, and he wishes that they weren't there. I wonder if you could clear that up, please. The decisions about how to set this thing up again, I think, because I don't think you want to stick with this bridge. This bridge is extremely thin, and I don't think it's actually going to survive a lot of serious use, personally. But, you know, that's up to you. I think it needs a new bridge, and I think it needs a new a decision about how to set up the fingerboard and the elevation. That's what I think. I think it's a good enough instrument that you shouldn't send it to Martin. If you wanted something like that done, I think you should send it to Sarah Peck in Philadelphia or to Gabrielle at Guadalajara in New York. And the reason is I think this is actually a good enough instrument that it should be set up really nicely by somebody who's had some experience with that.
yeah, I would concur. I would concur with that.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's it for the moment.
All right.
Thank you, Rui. This was a whole lot of fun.